Good morning and welcome back to 4 More Minutes. I am the Soul Stir, Sam Bailey, stirring up your hearts and minds for God. I want to thank you guys for joining today. I appreciate you joining us right here Monday through Friday, and I pray that you will continue to be a part of this ministry and this message by continuing to share the word of God with someone else, and the word of encouragement, a word of hope, a word of inspiration. Please subscribe to the Soul Stir on YouTube, and that is the easiest way to share it. And I appreciate that as always. I thank you guys for your support and your love and your encouragement in these efforts. Today, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever thought about God could actually be using you because of your past and not in spite of it? I know we often like to say that God is using us in spite of our past, right? But in spite of what we've been through, what we've gone through, who we are, what we've experienced, our sin, our shame, our disappointment, and God overlooks those things and he uses us. But what if God actually is using us because of what we've gone through? I think about the Apostle Paul, who made havoc of the church. He was consenting to the death of Christians there in Damascus, and God called him, and he was headed to Damascus, and God was called him on the road to Damascus, and got his attention, and turned it around and used him in a mighty way. And I think that it had to be somebody like Paul who could say, I had to forget what's behind me. I had a lot of stuff to forget. And sometimes that debt. I think that Paul says, I'm a debtor, right? He had a debt that he had to pay because he realized that because of his past, he had been called into the to being an apostle by the grace of God. And maybe God uses us because exactly what we've been through, all of the bad stuff we've been through, culminates and brings us to who we are. And it had to be you. It has to be you that you're being used because you've had the experience, you have the knowledge, you know how far God can bring you from. You've been to hell and back. You've been through difficulties and disappointments, and you learn from those things, and you know that you've got to be able to trust God no matter what. You know that God is with you no matter what. You know that God is always walking with you through the storm. You know he'll never leave you or forsake you. You've seen some things, you've heard some things, you've been around a little bit to know that you're never too far for God. And maybe God is using you because of your past, not in spite of it. Because of it, the very things that you've gone through, God knew it, God saw it. But God can take anything that was meant for evil, anything that the enemy uses to harm you, and he can use it for his good, for his purpose, and for your growth and in his glory. So we want to thank God, and every experience you've been through, don't discount it. It's part of the process. And I say all the time how Joseph said to his brothers, you sold me, but God sent me. And he knew that whatever men meant for evil, God can mend it for good. God is using you because of your past. You're the only one qualified, Paul, really to write half of the New Testament, because you made havoc of the church. And so you really understand what it means to experience the grace of God because you were so far away from it. Yet you understood the law. Yet you understood the importance of the law and the significance of the law. You thoroughly understood it, and you can really describe to others the distinct difference between the law and grace. God used you because of your past, not in spite of it. And so that in spite of it means that God is just saying, I guess I'll use them in spite of all the things that which they've done. Listen, no matter what sin you've committed in your life, the access to God comes the same way through faith in Jesus Christ, through the grace and the perfect work of what he's already done. And I think we've got to learn to do that. God is using us because of us. So next time you feel like you're unworthy, realize that none of us are worthy of it. But we've been called into this gospel. We've been called into this faith through His grace and through His love and through His compassion and tender love and kindness toward us. So go ahead and receive it. Stop trying to earn it. Walk in it. And realize that we only worthy through His sacrifice and through His mercy, and just know He sees things in us that we can't even see in ourselves, and that be for His glory. Well, God bless you all today. Thank you for joining 4 More Minutes. Share this with someone, and we'll see you here tomorrow to wrap up this week right here on 4 More Minutes. Thank you.